Good evening, everybody. Thank you for those that submitted your requests for videos today. The most common request from the homework tonight was problem number 16, which had to do with writing an algebraic expression and then solving that algebraic expression. So if this person, Kalani, wants to cut a piece of rope into several equal-sized pieces and have 10 feet remaining. So that's the kind of setup. She wants 10-foot piece remaining. So in part A, they have a 25-foot rope. She makes 3 cuts, and then she wants 10 feet remaining. In part B, they have a 310-foot piece of rope. She again makes 3 cuts and wants 10 feet remaining at the end. And then for part C, she starts with a 13-foot rope and makes 2 cuts. And then after those 2 cuts, has that 10-foot piece of rope remaining. So let's write some expressions first. So the expression for this rope is that there's some length of n. It's unknown, but she makes 1 cut of that length, 2 cuts, and then 3 cuts of that length, and there's 10 feet left over. What I know about that is that if I added up all these pieces of rope together, I would have 25 feet of rope. So now I'm just kind of thinking, well, are these mystery cuts? What are these mystery cuts here of unknown length? Well, I know that there's 10 feet left over, so I can kind of like think about, well, what if I take that 10 feet away from this 25? I can get, what are these here, right? Like 10 plus what is 25? And if you're thinking, Mr. Marcus, it's 15. Yeah, you're right. That 15 plus 10 is 25, right? That there's 15 feet here of rope. And so I need to think of what is each of these cuts? Well, each of these cuts is 5 feet. 5. So n is 5 in this case. How would that work for B? Well, again, I have 3 mystery cuts of x. So you could say, in this case, I'll write it like this. 3 x's, 3 unknown lengths, plus 10 feet left over is 310 feet total. Here, you can see, well, 10 plus what is 310? Well, 300 plus 10. So I know that 3 x's has to be 300. So 3 of these is 300, so that would mean 100, 100, 100. She makes 3 100-foot cuts. That's kind of how I'm solving this mystery right now. There's other ways to do it, but this is just how I'm doing it right now. So here I know that this whole thing here is 13 feet. From here to here is 13 feet. And I know that this is 10, right? So I'm thinking, well, what's left over here? I know the whole thing is 13. Well, this must be 3. This must be 3 feet here. So each of these j's would be half of that. So what is half of 3? So I know that 2 j's must be 3 feet. So, what would just half of that be? Well, if I cut this in half, if I divided this by 2, and if I divided this by 2, right, I would get that j equals 1.5. 1.5. That's what each j is. All right, thanks, guys. Have a nice night.